Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Waltoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nandi.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Coca-Cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In this bulletin, Fijian Elections Office calls for tender for polling station kits and ballot boxes. Nandi school broken into, religious items violated, and uncertainty surrounds start of inter-island airways in Fiji. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. Police are treating as possible negligence the death of a 4-month-old baby at Lomaivuna in Naitasiri on Saturday night. It is alleged the baby and his 7-year-old brother were left sleeping alone at home while both parents were out. When their mother returned at 11 p.m., she discovered her 7-year-old son had rolled on and was lying on top of the 4-month-old baby whose body was cold. The initial police report reveals the mother was attending choir practice while their father was at a neighbor's house watching television. Both parents have been cautioned, interviewed and released as investigators await post-mortem results. Police spokesperson Ananai Soro says this is a serious issue and police are again pleading with parents to prioritize the safety of their children at all times. The Fijian Elections Office is calling for tenders for polling station kits and ballot boxes. On its website, the Elections Office says it is inviting tender from reputable companies who have experience in the manufacture, assembly and supply of 2,200 polling station kits. The tender must be submitted to the Fijian Elections Office no later than 4 p.m. on 30th May. In a media conference late last week, Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Saneem stated the ballot boxes will be of UN standard.
The 2006 general elections, ballot boxes were sealed with tapes, and the problem with tapes is that in Fiji's high terrain, they can either lose grip or tear off. But for the 2014 general elections, we will be using tags like these. These are uniquely numbered tags.
A school in Nandi was broken into over the weekend and their religious items were violated. The Nandi Arya Samaj Primary School has lodged a complaint with police about this latest incident of sacrilege. Christopher Chand reports.
What was supposed to be a normal Sunday prayer for these committee members in the school turned out to be an ugly incident.
These guys, whoever they were, they broke in through the main gate, that side, and then they tried to walk into the other classroom, try to break them as well. But I think they could not get through, so they went into our prayer room. When they went to our prayer room, where all the things are there, and then they must have got the religious Havan Kund. They light a fire in there, and they ate meat, and they threw all the rubbish in there. And then they consumed alcohol as well. And then they had the mat, our prayer mat, and they must have used it, really made it into a mess.
Kumar says they were disturbed to find their religious items being violated in such a way.
And our members came today in the morning for our normal prayer. There were 25 of us. When we walked into the place, and everybody was in tears. That it felt so bad that, we are respecting other religions, other Easter was a big thing, we are looking for Easter. And then when we come for our prayer kind of thing, and then we are disturbed, it really hurt us. We felt so uncomfortable that our members were not happy at all.
Nothing was stolen from the school, but the issue of sacrilege has raised questions about respect for religion.
They should know that this is a Easter weekend, and Easter is a religious weekend, right? And they are doing this kind of thing. So I think they definitely have no clue what they are doing.
The Fiji Police Force says they will arrange a meeting with the head of the school tomorrow to discuss having security. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
A cloud of uncertainty surrounds the start of inter-island airways in Fiji. The airline continues to postpone its launch date, and there is further doubt following revelations that they failed to acquire Sunflower Aviation. Christopher Chand has more on the story.
In November last year, Aviana Airways Corporation, the parent company of Inter-Island Airways, stated they were in the process of buying out Sunflower Aviation. FBC News can confirm that the airline has since failed to complete this acquisition and Sunflower Aviation has a new buyer. The Civil Aviation Authority of Fiji has also confirmed that the airline has made no progress since January to get its air operating certificate. KEF Chief Executive Netawa Wanga says they are an agency of the government and their role is to ensure Fiji's civil aviation laws and standards are followed. Wanga says they do not cook up new laws overnight when a new airline arrives. The law is the same for everyone to follow. He says FBC News would need to ask the airline directly as to what is causing the delay. Numerous efforts have been made to get a comment from Aviana Airways Corporation CEO, Bani Sene. Sene has failed to respond to any of our emails. On their website, Inter-Island Airways has again postponed its launch date, this time to July. They have stated online that they are expected to get KEF certification by the middle of June. It remains unclear whether the airline will be able to fulfill these regulations. But what is certain is the company will not be starting its operations anytime soon. Domestic travelers will have to wait longer before their hopes of a drop in the price of air tickets becomes a reality. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, choir singing back in the Methodist Church's Mbose Koviti this year.
Gonga elambasa Mbula FM number 2 na sere.
Ando talita kana borong en Mbula FM. Number 2 en sere su.
Kau baitu tu geraki au rebot tu ni stima. Au ndo talita kana borong en Mbula.
Kalau bina Fiji, Mbula FM number 2 en singa toka.
Mbula bina era roga. Mbula FM number 2 tikoga.
Mbula FM number 2 en sere.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. A 34-year-old school teacher of Savu Savu is believed to be the latest drowning victim. The incident occurred yesterday at around 6 p.m. at the Devondara picnic spot in Savu Savu, where the teacher was swimming with friends. He was pulled out of the water by them, but attempts to revive him were unsuccessful. Investigations continue and a post-mortem will be conducted soon. Police also recorded 4 separate incidents of drowning over this long weekend. The youngest victim, a 5-year-old of Rewa. The much-awaited choir singing during the Methodist Church Annual General Meeting, or the Mbose Koviti, will get underway again this year after a lapse of 6 years. The last time Methodist Church choirs took to the podium during the Mbose Koviti was in August 2008. Apisalomidokar reports.
The Methodist Church is overwhelmed that the 2013 Constitution gives them the freedom to carry out their annual general meeting, the Mbose Koviti, without a permit.
We have asked questions from our police officers, and they have said there's nothing that will stop us from that, because the new constitution is on, and therefore we will have our conference this year.
Reverend Nawandra says the choir singing will be held at its normal venue, the Furnival Park in Turak, but with a slight change.
Thinking of that this year because of the freedom, but then we thought that this is a special year for the Methodist Church, since it will be the 50th anniversary of its independence. So we thought that we will use choir singing. Choir singing will be going on, but with no solis like before. We thought that this choir singing will be in praise of God, who has brought us this far in the last 50 years.
The General Secretary says they are crossing their fingers police will not intervene.
Well, that is our hope, because limitations was given to us in the last 2012, 2013, and what we got up to now from police is that this one will be free. I mean, the new constitution demands that we will do it with freedom. And therefore, it will be the 5 days, the whole 5 days. And of course, it will include the Sunday, wherein we will be holding our, other activities in the church.
the constitution is in place. Also, we will be just abiding by the public order amendment decree. So the meeting and the religious gathering, we haven't stopped that. It's almost all the religious gathering are currently undertaken. However, should they need to have a public procession or meet in a public place, that is when they have to follow what is required at the public order amendment decree, which is to apply for a permit.
The choir singing will be held from the 18th of August to the 23rd, with the Mboshikowiti to be held from the 25th to the 29th, and the farewell church service on the 31st of August. Apisolo Medoka, FBC News.
The Education Ministry says it has not received any reports against the teaching of conversational Hindi and Fijian in schools, and it has sternly advised that all schools should have implemented the curriculum by now, as required under the 2013 Constitution. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
Teaching conversational Hindi and Fijian became a part of the school's curriculum this year. The general idea behind the initiative is to ensure the use of ethnic languages among the younger generation is not lost.
It's not a worrying thing, it's because some people say, you needn't force this thing on the children, but no one forces it on the children. But the language, is heard and spoken by a lot of people, because people are divided roughly equally.
Philip Mbole says schools have been equipped with the necessary resources to teach vernacular classes.
No, it's something that we are quite strict on. You get to learn the other guy's language, otherwise you'll be lost in the conversation. It's something that you have to pick up, own, and use it. It's good for kids.
Bole says the Education Ministry has received numerous feedback from schools that the curriculum is well received by students, and there have been no problems reported.
We've only just started the year. We haven't heard any adverse comments from anybody on the teaching and learning the language. I haven't heard any problem with our schools from our teachers or from the kids. And it's good to listen to the kids talking in their own language and the other guy's language.
The Education Ministry says specialized Hindi and Itoke speaking teachers have been posted to schools, and teaching kids have also been distributed to help the teachers. The ministry warns any excuses from any school not to teach the two everyday languages will not be accepted. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
More juveniles are getting into trouble with the law. Most are reported for being involved in house break-ins, theft and burglary. Director Social Welfare Rupeni Fatiaki says proper parenting is the only best way to pull teenagers out from being involved in such crimes. Shireen Lata reports.
Juvenile offenders in Fiji are kept at the Boys Center in Suva.
It also serves as a remand center because juvenile offenders cannot be accommodated with the adult offenders in the correctional institutions.
Majority of them who are in remand have committed crimes such as theft, burglary, even serious crimes like rape and murder.
Where are their parents? What is happening that the family unit is not taking care of these kids who are supposed to be taken care of? They're obviously under the age of 18. Factors that may lead to this is perhaps the breakdown of our social structure and people who are supposed to discipline these kids.
The Social Welfare Ministry is working together with the Judicial Department to put juvenile offenders to do community work.
Once we have done that assessment and we consider that it's safe to put them back to school, we encourage them to go back to school, the normal education. If not, if they don't have those, those qualifications or the ability to go back to normal formal education, we try and look for vocational training for them. We have been successful in the past. There's quite a lot of success stories of children that have came through the system. Now some of them are employed, some of them have their own families. Even one of them went right straight to university, got his degree, and now he's been employed in one of the banks.
Currently, there are 5 juvenile offenders at the Suva Boys Center from the ages between 13 to 18. This number varies depending on the court proceedings, which normally takes 1 week, fortnight, or even years. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
The People's Community Network has acknowledged the initiative by the Social Welfare Ministry to build a rehabilitation centre for beggars in Fiji. PCN founder Father Kevin Barr says the move to house the beggars is a timely and good step. Father Barr says as an NGO, PCN will support the ministry in whatever way they can.
It's a very good idea. Some people also have various disabilities, and some of them mental disabilities. But those who can be trained, that would be a great move. I applaud it very much. Of course, there are organizations that are already caring for some beggars on the streets.
The Social Welfare Ministry had earlier announced that the rehabilitation centre will be based in the Loisuva, and there are plans to provide vocational training and employment opportunities for able-bodied beggars. That time again, Jamie joins us now with sports.
Good evening. After the break, an update from the Fiji Sevens camp and more. They dethrone Suva Warriors to take out Easter Cricket Championship. This and more coming up.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा साथी.
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot. देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi tauwa में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva. It's hot.
हम वहीं के लिए लंबा सा में रहता है. तो क्या बताएं हम मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है.
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Vodafone Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan is happy with the selection of forwards for the upcoming Glasgow and London tournaments. This includes Pio Tuai, Apisai Ndomolelai, Semi Kunatani and William Mata. Ryan says the players deserve their spot and have proven themselves throughout the season. The national coach has made no secret of his desire to develop the players into a formidable pack.
Yeah, 4 big forwards, and also if you look at all those forwards, they've got, Viliami's probably the youngest out of them, and Semi, 2 guys that have got a decade maybe left of rugby at this level, and Apasai is only 25 today, and Pio I think is only 30, so or thereabouts. So I'm hoping once we get them full time, we can extend their careers, get them bigger, faster, stronger. Can't wait for that to happen.
The LICI Easter Cricket Championship title will be heading to Mode this year after the island team defeated Suva Warriors in the final this afternoon. The side won by 103 for the loss of 8 wickets to claim the Compton Cup and a $3,000 cash prize. Tsalen Daudakadaka has more.
What can he do with it? Oh, he can score a 4. He scores a 4, a winning 4. It's 103.
Jubilation amongst the Mother fans as the side won the trophy they failed to defend last year. The team's self-belief was listed as a key factor to their victory over the defending champions.
From the pool game, it's just normal. We're confident and we know that we can do it, and we trust each other and the stuff. Yeah, that's all we do. Yeah.
The Suva Warriors went out with their heads held high and acknowledged the performance of both teams in a thrilling encounter.
It was in the very last 2 men that who have won the game today. It was a very interesting game. Look at it, that the Suva Warriors scrambled in their top order batsmen, and it was the decisive that our batsmen that should have carried us through flop in that action. But I was very happy when they come back and they were taking down wickets.
There will be much to celebrate for the Mother side and their fans tonight after a well-earned victory. Tsalen Daudakadaka, FBC Sports.
Local athletics coaches got some valuable tips from U.S. Olympian Dwight Phillips during a coaching clinic this morning. The clinic was well received, especially with the Coca-Cola Games coming up at the end of the week. Here's Talent Daudakadaka again.
Local athletes and coaches chose to sacrifice their Easter Monday to absorb as much information as they could from U.S. Olympian Dwight Phillips.
Some things, it's just emphasizes some things that we've been doing. It always pays off to work hard. He talked a bit on identifying athletes. He talked about the example he gave was you can be a really good 100-meter runner, or you can be the best long jumper. Okay? So it's all about identifying the athletes and see where their strengths lie and how you can help push and guide the athlete towards getting to their potential.
For some, the clinic provided a whole new side to preparing an athlete.
Basically, he's given the training program that he follows, and it's over about 7 months, and that's something new for us to work out on and to plan for next year. I think we need to set our off-season training a little earlier than what we usually have now.
Phillips will be conducting similar clinics throughout the week. Talent Daudakadaka, FBC Sports.
Liverpool opened up a 5-point lead at the top of the Premier League after a hard-fought 3-2 win over Norwich. This is Liverpool's 11th successive win in the league and has earned them a spot in next season's Champions League.
To margin for error. Sterling opened it up brilliantly, and Sterling strikes. Just after Christmas they were 5th. Here's Suarez! They're top now. They're ruthless and they're relentless. Super movement. Michael Turner can do nothing about it. In comes Johnson. Mignolet didn't get there! Norwich have one back. Bit of luck, they've taken it. All of a sudden they've been galvanised. That's loose. Here's Sterling. The only other player up with him is Suarez. Lucas arriving now. Sterling might not need him. A little deflection! That's number 3. And the man of the moment, Sterling, puts Liverpool firmly back in control.
That was your sports for tonight. Trish is up next with weather.
Terrific weather this long Easter weekend, as it was fine weather in all the major centers. Looking to temperatures, the lowest was the capital Suva in Savu with 30 degrees, as the only one on 31 was Lautoka, whereas tourist town Nandi, also Mba and Lambasa made a trio hit 32. Now tomorrow's weather, Suva and Savu will have clouds during the day but will clear later in the afternoon. As for Nandi, Lautoka, Mba and Lambasa, will have fine weather all throughout. Picture of the day is from the Mama Knew This. What a marvelous sight to behold.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Recapping the headlines. Fijian Elections Office calls for tender for polling station kits and ballot boxes. Nandi school broken into, religious items violated, and uncertainty surrounds start of inter-island airways in Fiji. Results from last week's poll question, we had asked, should the old Rewa Bridge be demolished? 37% of respondents answered yes. This week we're asking, are you familiar with the elections voting process? Visit our FBC website www.fbc.com.fj to answer. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. We'll be back again tomorrow. Until then, good evening.
Ito singata kung talita na parong na radio Fijuan na station yalmutua.
Ako na poro ko na talita. Mandaw talita kini na parong radio Fijuan
Kitongo isu untuk talita kana barong na Radio Fiji 1, testenyal mutua.
Keto talita ka na Radio Fiji 1. Na Radio Fiji 1, ento talita kitalanga Sintoka.
Station in Machino Pinatia na Radio Fiji 1.
Na Radio Fiji 1 nandu mo ibiti na bonga ni BNN.